What's up, you guys? Welcome back. And by the title of this video, you already know I'm going to talk about the cheapest AR I've built. But in this video, I'm not only going to show you the parts I have installed on it. As I go down the parts, I'm going to explain to you how I got them so cheap. So hopefully you guys can use the same methods I use and turn around and build yourself a cheap AR. We're going to start from the tip. So as you can see here, I have a Falker Defense blast forwarding device. Works similar to a linear compensator. If you want a better explanation on how they work, you can go ahead and watch my previous video on my $1,200 AR that I built for under 600 bucks. With this muzzle device, there was a guy on Reddit giving a bunch of stuff away. It was literally a bag of like 6 or 7 muzzle devices and this UTG riser and a YHM riser. He said he didn't want them, he didn't need them, they were taking up space. All we had to do was pay shipping. I think I paid like 9 or 10 bucks shipping. So if I was to put a price point on this muzzle device that I have installed on this rifle, I'd say maybe $2. As you can see here, I have the Diamondback AR-15 handguard. This is off of the very first AR that Diamondback produced. This was basically free. The reason I say it was free is because, again, on Reddit, some guy was selling a bundle. It was the Diamondback handguard, an ATI A2 style butt stock with the buffer tube, the buffer, the spring, the castle nut, and the end plate. So the whole rear kit. I know I didn't need that stock, but I did need a handguard to, finish building my AR. So I turned around and sold the butt stock and the tube alone for $40. So I made $10 off of that deal. I ended up keeping, like I said, the spring, the buffer, the end plate, the castle nut, and the handguard. So making that free. With the $10 profit, I ended up buying this Magpul SL grip and the trigger guard. Some guy was selling it for 12 bucks. I offered him 10. He accepted. Moving on back, as you can see here, I have a Bushnell TRS-25 red dot. This is one of the most budget red dots you can get that is reliable. It works and it does what it's meant to do. You don't get flickering. It's pretty bright. But yeah, so I ended up paying 25 bucks for this. Some guy on Reddit put he had a Bushnell he didn't need. It doesn't have anything. It literally came, as you see it here, minus the battery. As you can see here, I have the Magpul pop-up sights. I ended up picking them up for 30 bucks on eBay. The guy on there said he was selling them cheap because it doesn't have the front sight tool to adjust the elevation and it was missing the rear screw. I had a screw laying around, so I threw it in there. Works fine. If you don't have a screw, pretty sure you can find one cheap on eBay, or maybe contacting Magpul, probably send you one cheap if not free. And moving on, you can see I have an Arrow slick side upper. I think I ended up paying like 40 bucks for it. Some guy on Reddit, I don't know if he knew what he had or if he was just trying to pay it forward, giving somebody a good deal, but I grabbed it. I'm not a huge fan of slick side uppers. I prefer the forward assist, but it does look clean. And I didn't know what to throw it on until I started building this budget build. It is sitting on an Arrow X15 AR lower. This is the same style lower I have on my $1,200 rifle, but this one I ended up picking off a buddy of mine. He said he had no use for it. He was pretty much done building ARs. He said, give me 35 bucks for it, so I did. And as you can see here, I do have a Hammerhead single stage flat face trigger. So if you guys haven't heard of Hammerhead triggers, they are a budget friendly company. They think they retail for like 50-60 bucks. It's a pretty good trigger for the price. Here's your trigger pull. Here's your reset. So like I said, it's not horrible. I'm gonna show you one more time. So I paid 20 bucks for it. The reason I'm saying I paid 20 bucks for it is because the guy that was selling it was also looking to trade for an Arrow BAR or bar barrel nut adapter. So that adapter basically lets you put in your Arrow enhanced handguard onto a regular threaded upper. I didn't need it. I paid 20 bucks for it way back when. So I said, hey, I'll trade you. So we went ahead and did the trade. So I'm in 20 bucks for it. It did come with these K&S pins here. They are the anti-walk pins. So they were missing these little screws. It did have the little bar that holds them together, but it was missing the screws. But luckily the Hammerhead comes with those trigger pins that need the screws to go through them, so they fit on there and it worked. This is the Warhammer charging handle. I mentioned in my previous video that it sucked and I stuck to it. This charging handle looks like QC just wasn't there for this when this product was made. It has a lot of flex in it, so as you can see here, It's not supposed to do that because let's say you're in a high-paced situation, you're in a competition, or you know, an emergency and you need a rack quickly. If you don't pull directly back, it's gonna shift, and if it shifts, it's gonna ride on your upper, causing it to bind up, and it's just gonna get stuck. It doesn't rack at all. Long story short, stay away from Warhammer charging handles and get yourself a mil-spec. It's money better spent there. Now let's talk about my BCG and my barrel. They're both made by Franklin Armory. This is a 7.5 inch 5.56 1 twist barrel. If you guys have never shot a 5.56 out of a 7.5 inch barrel, I'm gonna tell you it is extremely loud. You get a huge fireball every time you shoot it, which is kind of cool if you ask me. But if you do shoot this indoors, everyone in there is gonna hate you. It is super loud. I mean, I would recommend shooting this outdoors, but if you really don't care, I know I really don't care, just go ahead and shoot it wherever you want. I ended up picking this up on Reddit. Some guy had it on sale for 140 bucks. I made him a couple offers. He declined both. I went on, I said good luck with your sale, and moved on. He hit me up about a week later saying, hey, if you're still interested, let's go ahead and make a deal. And I mean, for 80 bucks, you can't beat it on a brand new barrel and a brand new BCG. You can get yourself an E2 BCG that retails for about 60 bucks. Then I'd go on Reddit and make a post saying I wanted to purchase someone's used or unwanted barrel. I've seen used barrels sell on there for 30, 40 bucks. And I mean, if you can pick one up for that price plus that $60 BCG, that's a pretty good kit right there. The last thing I want to talk about is the brace I have on here. This is a SB Tactical mini brace. I ended up picking it up for $20 with the tube, and if you guys remember, I already had everything else to finish off the rear end. Now that being said, I think I'm in under 300 bucks on this build, guys. I don't know the exact number, I'll post that somewhere down here, but for sub $300 I got myself a nice looking pistol. You can't go to your local gun store and just pick one off the shelf for that price. You have to take your time, and that's the biggest advice I can give you guys when you're building your ARs. Search the different, you know, websites where you can buy used parts. Talk to your buddies. Sometimes they have stuff they don't need and they don't even realize they have it until you ask for it. So do me a favor and down there hit that little thumbs up button, and in the comments let me know what you think about this build. Maybe you like it, maybe you hate it, maybe you think it's the ugliest thing you've ever seen. If you ask me, for sub 300 bucks, I like it. And since you're down there, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the little bell notification, because I am coming out with a bunch of content and I would hate for you guys to miss it. If you did miss it, in this video here, I'm giving away a Vetter holster. Who doesn't like free stuff? Come on, man. That guy with guns. Hope to see you in the next one.